Waking up one morning, Jake found a wounded Arctic fox. He loved cradling her, inhaling her unique scent. But one morning, as he stirred, a voice shattered the quiet, "Honey, hold me tight. Kiss me, feed me." Jerked awake by the sound, his eyes widened in shock. A petite, snow-white girl, seemingly out of nowhere, was diving towards him. Instinctively, he pushed the beautiful girl away. Immediately, she puffed out her cheeks, furious. 9 radiant white tails swished behind her. Seen it all, touched it all, now playing dumb? Just like my sister said, men are all pigs. Confused, Jake's mind raced. The ears, the coloring, the sensation, it couldn't be. Was it that little fox he'd found a few days ago? Not long before, heartbroken after being betrayed by Jessica, he'd found himself drowning his sorrows by the river. Just as he was about to unleash a cathartic shout, a lightning bolt ripped through the sky, followed by thunderclaps like exploding bombs. He flinched. Seriously? At my age, never seen a storm like this. Sounds like Zeus himself is throwing a tantrum. Then, with a splash, something heavy landed in the river, sending up a geyser of water. Oh God, someone jumped? Or worse, someone dumped a body? He peered into the water, illuminated by the streetlights, and spotted a figure floating. A young woman, by the looks of it. Suicide? Do I save her? After a mental debate he couldn't stand by and do nothing, he dove in. After great efforts he managed to drag himself onto the bank, heaving the furry creature he'd pulled from the water onto the grass beside him. Gasping for breath, ugh, felt like I was suffocating down there. Almost kicked the bucket. Ouch. That hurts. I am Princess Ariel, 7th daughter of the Fox Spirit clan. How dare you throw me like that? It stings. What rotten luck. Not only did I get struck by lightning, I lost my core essence. Catching his breath, Jake inspected his rescued maiden. It wasn't a woman at all, but a small, slightly singed Arctic fox. He recoiled. Am I hallucinating? The thought sobered him up fast. The cold river water and the shock cleared his head entirely. He turned to leave without a second thought. My entire body's fried. I barely have any strength. Hey, you can't just abandon an adorable fox spirit like me. It's pouring. I'll freeze to death. The words echoed in his mind, making him stumble. Turning back, he saw the small fox on the grass, seemingly the source of the voice. Whether it was the lingering alcohol or a pang of compassion, he returned to the fox's side. He could see it was still breathing weakly, its chest rising and falling. Okay, still alive, barely. Scooping it up by the scruff of the neck, like he'd seen done with dogs, he checked the river for any more signs of trouble before heading towards the nearby stairs, disappearing into the night. Some time later, he dragged himself back to his apartment. First, he found a clean towel, drying the fox's soaked fur. Then, he turned on his hairdryer, blasting warm air over its coat. What is this? It's so warm. I like it. Soon, though, the little fox's comfort turned to alarm as he flipped it over, exposing its stomach and lower body. Hey! Stop that. Let me go. No. The small fox squeaked, sounding almost gigglish, which pleased Jake. Seems like this one's a girl. Wouldn't find the equipment if she wasn't noting its steady breathing. He wasn't sure if it would make it through the night. Wallet and phone are gone. Can't take it to the vet. No point in getting too attached. If it died, he'd just toss it in the trash. Fortunately, the little fox couldn't read his mind. Finally, he settled the small fox on the sofa, draping a towel over its belly. Old habit. Even on the hottest nights, he always covered his stomach. He then rummaged through his closet for some clean pajamas, slipped on his slippers, and headed for the bathroom. Great, the bathroom fan is broken. After a few futile attempts to fix it, he sighed. Figures. When it rains, it pours. Resigning himself to showering with the door open, he stepped onto the bath mat. Unbeknownst to him, a fox was staring with wide, curious eyes. So, that's what a human male body looks like. Why is there that between the legs? Compared to my sister's, he's totally flat. As he washed, Jake felt uneasy, like he was being watched. Turning around, he saw the small fox, riveted. Even though it was just an animal, the intensity of its gaze made him uncomfortable. He quickly finished his shower, changed, and flopped onto his bed, quickly falling asleep. Soon, the room was filled with his heavy breathing. At that moment, the small fox delicately approached the bed, slowly creeping towards him, finally stopping right in front of his face. Snap! A few sharp claws emerged from the fox's snow-white paws, reaching for the exposed skin of Jake's neck. This human not only defiled my body but also stripped me naked. I can't forgive him. The sharp claws hesitated above him for a long time before slowly retracting. Regret filled the small fox. If she claws down, he will be in pain. Isn't the pain last night, when he was struck by lightning, already painful enough to faint? What's more, it was this human who saved her when she fell into the river. My sisters say that human men are all bad, but if I kill him, wouldn't that be ungrateful? Moreover, I've never killed a rabbit, let alone such a big person. However, according to the rules of Mount Shanhu, he has seen my entire body. If I don't kill him, I have to marry him. How can I, a princess of the Mount Shanhu, marry a mortal? So the little fox sat on the spot, raised her 2 front feet and began to count her fingers, kill or not kill, kill or not kill. When she counted to the last paw, before the little fox could say the words no kill, suddenly a big hand fell from the sky, pressed on her, and quickly pulled her into his arms, continuing to sleep soundly. The little fox was stunned. Hey! Let me go. Don't touch my belly. Don't touch it. I'm not innocent anymore. The little fox tried to struggle out, but found that this human was holding her too tightly. The more she struggled, the tighter he held her. If it weren't for the loss of her inner elixir during the tribulation, how could I, the princess, be held by a mortal? The little fox was almost going crazy, feeling that her claws were all working hard, but to no avail. Suddenly, a thought came to her: just transform into a human. Although she lost her inner elixir, she survived the lightning tribulation. From now on, she could transform into a human whenever she wanted, and return to her original form whenever she wanted. Speaking of doing, with a flash of pink light, the fox in his arms kept growing bigger, and the hair on her body gradually disappeared. In just an instant, a slim and graceful figure appeared on the bed. But the little fox was only worried about how to escape, and forgot about Jake's hand. After she transformed into a human, his hand naturally fell on a soft pile. In a state of unconsciousness, he pinched it twice. Ah! Pervert! Pervert! Big pervert! The little girl hurriedly grabbed his hand and threw it aside. Taking the opportunity, she quickly slid off the bed. Humans are so scary. The beautiful figure puffed her cheeks, her small pink cheeks gently patted her chest. Her watery peach blossom eyes stared at the sleeping man on the bed. Her soft hair draped over her snow-white shoulders, looking like a girl around 18 or 19 years old. Without magic power, she couldn't conjure clothes. Seeing that he was still sleeping soundly, the little girl didn't care for the time being. Then she set her eyes on the closet next to her and rummaged for a while. The little girl's face was full of displeasure. Why are they all men's clothes? There are no beautiful dresses like my sisters wear. After a long time, the little girl found a white shirt. This can be worn. So she hurriedly took out the white shirt and put it on. After putting it on, the little girl was very satisfied, and her beautiful eyes shone with freshness. Finally, she could transform into a human and wear human clothes. With that, the little girl walked barefoot to a full-length mirror and gently turned her body. Because the shirt was quite wide, the hem of the shirt flew up like a skirt with every movement. The sunlight shone in, dreamlike and illusory. It was just a little exposed, but it was quite cool. She felt that she was missing something. Sixth sister often wears various shirts combined with many colorful skirts. It seems to be called a JK or something, matched with thin long socks, which looks very beautiful. Next time, she must ask her sisters to buy her 10 sets. Wait a minute, my sisters are all very rich. 10 sets are too few, she has to get 100 sets, 1,000 sets will do. The more the better, she wants all styles. Then, the little girl squatted in front of the mirror, raised her newly transformed face, soft and elastic, and couldn't help but gently pinch it. It was smoother than her sister's hands. Just like that, the little girl giggled to herself for a long time until she was tired of looking at it before she started wandering around the room. This place is too small. I feel that my sister's wardrobe is bigger than this place several times. This man must be very poor. If he heard this sentence, he might vomit blood. This 2-bedroom, 1-living-room apartment in the center of River City is something many people can't afford in their entire lives. Of course, he didn't buy it either, he just rented it. After a long time, only a gurgling sound was heard. The little girl stroked her flat stomach and began to search again. What shocked her was that even after searching all over, she couldn't find a single biscuit. Now she was almost certain that this man must be very poor. Then she hugged her fair feet and sat on the sofa. Her big, round eyes immediately became watery. I've lost my inner elixir, I can't use magic, and I'm trapped in this man's house. He doesn't even have anything to eat. Maybe I'll become the first fox spirit to starve to death in Mount Shanhu. Suddenly, there was a burst of rapid knocking on the door. The little girl's beautiful eyes were immediately alert. A ray of pink light flashed on the sofa, leaving only the white shirt. She had transformed back into her original form and lay back on the towel. A few minutes later, Jake was finally awakened by the noise. Knocking painfully on his aching head, he shuffled to the door in his slippers. "Dude. You're alive." A relieved voice greeted him. It was his friend, Tom, who he'd worked with for years at Jessica's company. They'd been close even outside of work. "What's up?" Jake managed a weak smile. He knew why Tom was here. He opened the door wider, inviting him in. "Just checking up on you," Tom replied, grinning as he looked around the apartment, his eyes widening. He shook his head. "You sure look like hell." Jake was now fully awake, taking in the scene. The apartment looked like it had been ransacked. "Unless I have a sleepwalking problem, I have no idea how this happened. You expect me to believe that crap?" "I know what's up." Jake rolls his eyes. "Fine, you've got me, I don't remember jack, so what do you want?" He walked to the fridge, pulled out a beer, and handed it to Tom. "What brings you here?" "Yeah, I heard the news, and thought I'd check on you, but not just me, everyone at the company wanted to check in, I mean after all you've done for them." Tom shook his head. "Jessica's a real piece of work, how could she do that to you?" Jake cut him off. "I don't want to hear her name. It's over. Attaboy. There are plenty of fish in the sea." Tom smiled, awkwardly changing the subject. "To be honest, we know Jessica fucked you over, but we're gonna fuck her over in return. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have the opportunity I have now, all of us, and for that we'll do you justice, even if it means leaving the company." Jake frowned, setting down his beer. "What did you do?" "Just 'cause I said you could beat my ex's ass doesn't mean you should mess with my business." "Nah, you got us all wrong, just think of it like we all took a vacation, it's a good opportunity to relax and reflect." Tom paused, and gave a grin. "Anyway, I gotta be going, but when you're back to normal, we'll be there." Jake's eyes widened. "So you're saying you made a mess?" "It's not my mess to make, I'm sure you'll clean it when you have the chance." Tom gave a wink, and departed, leaving Jake with his thoughts. Jake stared at the messy apartment. "I'm not gonna bother, as long as nothing important is missing." Jake got up, and picked up a shirt. His nose caught an unfamiliar scent, almost like honey, but not. Strange. Ariel, who still retained her form as a fox, gave a snarl. "Pervert, all humans are the same, I swear." Hearing a noise, Jake tossed the shirt into the laundry and donned an athletic outfit, leaving the room. As soon as Jake left, Ariel watched him. She had to admit he was quite the looker, compared to her father, though maybe it was too early to tell. Jake came back into the living room and stared at her. I'm gonna see if you have any issues. He picked her up and began a checkup. Pervert. I know what you're doing. I should just eat you instead. Six has told me about this, the Southern Kingdom, they're just animals, and I'm no exception. All is lost, I have to die. She struggled, thinking the worst. I said I wasn't gonna eat you, geez. You need to take it easy. Don't you dare disobey me or I'll toss you outside, you hear? You'd be stewed alive by some old lady for hot pot in a heartbeat. Immediately, the little fox became obedient, its big, round eyes looking even more pitiful. Smart girl. Don't worry, I'm not exactly a saint, but I've never been known to eat wildlife. Besides, who pulled you out of the river last night, huh? Once you're better, I'll release you back into the forest. Really? You promise you won't trick me? The little fox looked up, even more dejected. He'd seen everything. No wonder King Zhou was so bewitched by Dodgy. Fox charm was real. And this was just a clever little fox. If it was a truly wicked spirit like Dodgy, the possibilities were unimaginable. Just be a good girl, alright? I'll take you to the vet for a checkup, and give you a bath while we're at it. The little fox seemed to perk up, then suddenly turned fidgety. But the fear of being stewed alive kept it in line. A bath it is. I've already been seen naked anyway, might as well be scrubbed to perfection. Seeing the little fox's limp limbs, Jake could only imagine what it was thinking. Does this little thing have a death wish or what? He placed it on the sofa and looked around for something suitable to carry it in. Finally, his eyes landed on a shopping basket hanging on the wall. Sniffing it, he detected a faint fishy smell. Foxes like fish, right? Whatever. Hey, get in here. He crouched down, testing if it really understood human speech. The little fox turned its head away, not impressed. If I hadn't lost my core essence, I'd ram you and send you flying. Ugh, the way you grab me is totally dog-like. And that basket. Seeing it wasn't cooperating, Jake chuckled. The effects of fake booze are real. Here I am thinking a fox could understand me. He grabbed the little fox by the scruff of its neck and tried to stuff it into the shopping basket, only to have it perform some kind of acrobatic split, its legs blocking the entrance. Its expression screamed refusal. That shopping basket hasn't been washed in ages. It reeks of fish bones. How could I, a princess, be placed in such a thing? Death before dishonor. He tried several more times, but the little fox always managed to block the entrance. Then, a sight that made his jaw drop occurred. The little fox was actually muttering, its lips moving. It really did understand. Helpless, he returned to the bedroom and grabbed a backpack. I don't have any pet carriers. Apart from the shopping basket, this is it, or I carry you outside. Hearing this, the little fox took a few steps towards him, placed its front paws on the backpack, and looked up at him with wide eyes. Seeing this, Jake opened the backpack. To his surprise, the little fox obediently hopped inside. After recovering from the shock, he put the backpack on his chest, leaving a few centimeters unzipped for ventilation, and left the apartment. In the blink of an eye, he arrived at the vet's office. A petite, radiant young vet tech greeted him. She smiled sweetly and asked what services he needed. He focused on the name tag on her chest. Oh, she is just a trainee. How nice. All of this was observed by the little fox who was peeking out of the backpack. Its expression changed to one of distrust and loathing. I knew it no good come from this human trash, she quietly growled. After figuring out what he needed, the vet tech led him to the examination room. When the vet and the vet tech saw a fox in the backpack, they couldn't help but look surprised. These days, keeping a fox isn't exactly commonplace. After the vet checked the little fox, he said it was healthy, just a bit dirty. They offered to have their professional staff bathe it. After Jake agreed, a young man entered, flashing a gentle smile as he reached to pick up the little fox. Just then, an unexpected scene unfolded. The normally docile little fox turned aggressive, brandishing its sharp claws, baring its fangs, and flailing its paws. After several attempts, the young man couldn't get close, he even got a bloody scratch on his arm. Jake was also surprised, it had always been so gentle around him, never showing this ferocious side. Then, the vet tech stepped forward to try, but got the same reaction. During the examination, Jake had been the one holding it. It seemed it was only docile around its owner. "Alright, just give me the equipment. I'll bathe it myself." Fearing the little fox might have a panic attack, Jake spoke up. "That's probably for the best." And so, the next scene played out, Jake, a former vice president of a listed company, sitting on a small stool in a vet's office, bathing a little fox. If his old buddies saw this, he'd never be able to hold his head high again. "Hey you, I've decided to let you get away with this one time 'cause you rescued me, but if you ever touch me again I will not hesitate to kill you." She relaxed as the water poured on her. "Ah, so nice, so relaxing." Seeing the little fox so well behaved, the staff couldn't help but admire him. "Sir, your pet is really only gentle with you. I've seen plenty of people keep foxes, and while they're close to their owners, I've never seen anything like this." Jake gave a forced smile. How could he say that this little fox had been pulled out of the river the night before? "Who would be close to someone like you? If I didn't lose my powers I wouldn't need you." A few minutes later, a completely new little fox appeared. Jake had thought it was just a little white fox, but now he saw pink patterns on its fur, and a plum blossom marking on its forehead. "Sir, your fox must be very valuable. I've never seen a fox with such unique markings." The staff couldn't help but admire. The little fox seemed to have stepped out of a movie. "She sure is valuable." He spoke offhandedly. Even he hadn't realized the little fox he'd rescued was so beautiful. Getting closer, he noticed the faint, ethereal scent from before was even stronger. It seemed to be her natural aroma. Hearing their conversation, the little fox proudly raised its head. "I am the 7th princess of the Fox Spirit clan, Su Xiaoqi. Meeting me is a blessing for 3 lifetimes, you peasants." In a flash, Jake unceremoniously grabbed the little fox by the scruff of its neck and placed it in the backpack. But as he headed for the door, the vet tech from before stopped him. The next second, she shyly held out her phone, the screen displaying a QR code. "Can I have your contact info? I love pets, and my cat can even do somersaults. You should come over sometime and see." The little fox didn't understand what a QR code was, but she understood the rest. "Just as I thought, a little vixen, shamelessly seducing men. Jake, I refuse to let you give her it. You've touched me all over. If you dare fraternize with other women, I'll wait for my powers to come back and have your head." Looking at the QR code in the vet tech's hand, Jake felt like he was looking at an artifact of the Stone Age. "Sorry, I lost my phone yesterday. The new one only has Alipay." The vet tech looked momentarily disappointed, but then rallied. "Alipay's fine too. Add me when you get it set up." Jake was stunned. Were all young women this proactive? He eventually added the vet tech's Alipay. What he didn't see was that the little fox in the backpack had nearly lost her mind. That bastard, Jake. Daring to fraternize with other women right in front of me. According to the rules of Mount Shanhu, not only must I kill you, but before I do, I'll cut off your duty. When he got home, he found Jessica standing at his door. It was rare for her to show up here. In the past few years, she'd only come a few times, and only for a moment, as if his place had something disgusting in it. This was probably about the deleted documents. Soon enough, Jessica spotted him and stormed towards him, face full of anger. "Don't act like you don't know what happened. You betrayed me for the last time, deleting the files, calling to get rid of the partners I brought in. I can't believe you'd sink this low." Jake's jaw clenched. She'd always been so uptight, but never thought she'd stoop so low. "Those are my files to do whatever I wanted, and calling the clients," he stared coldly. "I never would. After 6 years she still acts like this. You know, now that I see all the colors, you were never that special anyway," said Jake with a cold heart. Jake reached and opened the door. "I suggest you leave now." "What the heck is wrong with you calling me crazy? Jessica raised her voice. I'm telling you to leave is all. Whatever, let's get it over with, said Jake as he walked away, and if you have trouble listening to people, I suggest a doctor's apparently if you have enough money you get a discount. Immediately after talking Jake walked around her, only to have Jessica place her arms in his way. You aren't leaving unless I get a copy of the files back, they belong to the corporation and you are breaking the law as we speak. Jake only scoffed at her attempt to get one up. If you think I'm hiding your crap, then bring it up with a judge. As for the documents, all the info has been wiped to make sure nothing else gets taken. You said it yourself, there was camera footage of you transporting the files out, Jessica quickly snapped back. Oh, that's what it was. Jake looked up. I was wondering why I saw a camera in my office. Jessica quickly went wide-eyed and quickly tried to correct herself. Just return the files and we can avoid a conflict and move on, and if we don't I swear the corporation will ruin you. Alright, how about this, smirked Jake, we check the river by the park. Oh wait, I dropped my phone yesterday, so if we get the phone then you get the documents, he said before leaving. Jake then went to go fill a food bowl for the fox. Jake realized he hasn't even drank anything, so he heated up some milk. After all this, Jake went and sat alone on the sofa and turned the TV, when the screen asked for subscription. Whatever, I don't care, he said before spacing out. The fox watched him only. Before seeing the cup, licking her lips, she went up to the bowl and started to drink all the milk. Oh sweet, so good, nothing's better, she said as she emptied the bowl. What about that guy, should I check up on him, she wondered. Maybe for this, it's time for me to return the flavor and check up on him, she said before lightly heading over to the sofa and tapping his face before giving a light meow. You can't even have a taste, can you, Jake said as he gently pet her. How can you tell? I don't even like you that much anyway, she started to rub around his face. Oh, and please stop that, that's my tail, why are you touching it? Just to show some appreciation, he said before stopping. For the first time the fox showed a genuine smile. Thank you. Jake then began to binge-watch videos, with the fox cuddling him all the way. Jake went up and decided to get something to cook when the fox began to watch some TV shows. Seeing Jake devour his food with gusto, she reached for a pack of spicy fish sticks, but quickly discovered her paws weren't up to the task. She glanced towards the kitchen. With a flash of pink light, the little fox transformed into her human form, snatched a towel to wrap around herself, and eagerly ripped open the snack. But the smile quickly vanished from her face, replaced by a fiery red flush and frantic panting. Too hot. Too hot. Hearing the commotion, Jake emerged from the kitchen, knife in hand, and surveyed the scene. He spotted the scattered spicy fish sticks and the fox girl writhing on the sofa. You opened that? How? He cleaned up the mess. I swear she didn't need a power-up to open this. I'm sure she did it by herself. She then looked over at Jake. She quickly stopped and exclaimed, I didn't want anything to do with this so-called. He saw she was still panting, so he rewarmed half a bowl of sweet milk and placed it before her, then returned to the kitchen to finish cooking. As soon as he was gone, she quickly shifted back into her human form, grabbed the bowl, and gulped down the milk. Phew! Wiping her mouth, she sighed in relief. Finally! That helped. But when she turned to look towards the kitchen, she saw Jake standing there, staring in shock. How could he not have noticed something was up? The female voice from the living room was a dead giveaway. He decided to test his suspicions, hiding behind the door. He finally discovered the scene. What? She exclaimed. Oh my God! The fox girl was the first to react, grabbing the towel from the sofa to cover herself. Don't look. Get out. Help a girl out. Jake snapped out of his stupor, closed his eyes, and turned around. Who are you? What are you doing in my apartment? In his heart, he already knew the answer. But 20-odd years of education had taught him there might be a misunderstanding. Even if the chances were slim, he still couldn't imagine the fox he'd rescued could transform into a human. Didn't they say after the country was built that animals can't become spirits anymore? Don't you get to look at me? The fox girl's face was flushed, the red spreading to her ears and neck. Initially, she'd been able to console herself that he'd only seen her animal form, but now? Even her human body had been exposed. Oh okay, I won't turn around. After what felt like an eternity, he cautiously asked, Are you done yet? Can I turn around now? Receiving an affirmative reply, he gingerly stepped out of the kitchen, his pupils dilating as he took in the increasingly clear figure before him. An exquisitely carved oval face, skin as smooth as jade, so delicate it seemed to shatter with a touch. Large, watery peach blossom eyes, eyelashes fluttering like fans. For a moment, he was completely mesmerized. What are you looking at? Keep staring and I'll gouge your eyes out. Don't you dare think I wouldn't. The fox girl's words were fierce, but her body trembled slightly. At first, he'd been tense, but having been through so much already, he could tell if someone was bluffing. Pretty cute. So, you're that little fox, huh? He asked cautiously. So what if I am? It's really you. Jake took a deep breath. 20-something years of worldview shattered in an instant. He'd actually met a yokai, and one that could transform into a human, no less. But he didn't overreact, nor did he lower his guard. Although this little yokai seemed harmless, she was still a yokai. Who could guarantee this wasn't an act? Especially since she was a fox spirit, fox spirits were notorious for their cunning and disguise. He didn't want to have his head twisted off and his life force drained. So, he kept a firm grip on the kitchen knife. And so, the two stood in the living room, staring at each other, large eyes meeting small, for a long time. Finally, he spoke. How about we talk? He gestured towards the sofa, then went to the dining table, pulled out a chair, and sat down. The fox girl hesitated, then sat on the sofa. Without her core essence, she was just a normal person now, and standing for too long made her legs ache. So, where did you come from? He asked tentatively. I'm not a yokai. I'm a fox spirit from Mount Foxglove. The fox girl puffed out her lips and explained earnestly. Besides, I have a name. I'm Su Xiaoqi. You can also call me Seventh Princess. Seventh Princess. He repeated silently, implying this little fox had at least 6 siblings just like her. Are there really that many yokai these days? Or is it just normal people like me who don't know? No wonder he'd heard online that if spiritual energy ever recovered, a bunch of high-level masters would immediately pop out. Su Xiaoqi, where do you live? I'll give you money for a taxi home. He didn't know what he was saying anymore. In short, this transforming fox spirit was definitely not simple. It was best to quickly send this big Buddha away, or who knew what trouble she'd cause later? He didn't want another fox king popping out of the woodwork. Although she was pretty, he knew he wasn't that lucky. Besides, he didn't believe that he'd saved her and she'd repay him with her body. Even if she wanted to, he wouldn't dare accept. According to the internet, that thing would drain his life force. Su Xiaoqi didn't know he'd already imagined an entire saga, she only knew his tone seemed to want to chase her away. Humans are really the worst. Did I say something wrong? I saved you and now I'm trying to find a way for you to go home, but that's not enough. Do you think I'm dying to stay here? If it weren't for the fact that my inner elixir's gone, then I'd have already left, Su Xiaoqi shouted before reacting back. Turns out that wasn't an act. Why did you lose it? If you help me find my inner elixirs, I'll quickly get out of your way. It's not my job to make sure I find your so-called rock. I'm not going to waste my time trying to find something that I haven't even seen with my own eyes before, Jake complained. Oh, well, being cold already. Why did I expect so much from you? She began to get teary-eyed. It needs to be done if I want to not have everyone's eyes glued on me. Well, I sure as heck don't want to be a target, Jake rolled his eyes. Then what do you plan to do? She exclaimed. Well, I'm gonna go away so that way I don't get into any problems, Jake smirked, or maybe you would like to come, that way I have an assistant on the way. If I did, what would you give me? She asked back. A house, no wait, free labor, yeah, free labor. After thinking it out, both finally got to an agreement. If I can guarantee you find my inner elixirs, but if not, you will come with me, she said before extending her hand and shaking his. Jake was surprised. Wait, so if I find your so-called thing you will leave? I can promise you that with my life. What's your family gonna say? Will they give you a hard time? Jake knew there had to be more questions. If you are as strong as they call you and can outsmart everything, then you'll have nothing to worry about, she smirked and winked. Seemingly understanding his soft spot, Shachi's face crumpled, her eyes welling up with tears. He couldn't help but turn away. He was a man who valued efficiency, not patience. Under normal circumstances, he would have already snapped at her. Waiting for himself to calm down, he walked over to Shachi. Let me hold your hands to teach you how to use the chopsticks. My mother taught me that way when I was a kid. How about it? If you don't want to, then I'll go downstairs and buy disposable gloves for you, okay? Anyway, me touching you is already a reality. Now that he'd given permission, he sat down, gently taking Shachi's hands in his. He felt her tremble slightly. He also froze, realizing just how soft her hands were. It turned out that soft and boneless wasn't just a flowery description. Shachi's hands were as soft as warm snow. Aren't you supposed to be teaching me how to use chopsticks? He snapped, what the hell? I'm trying to hide my embarrassment over here. Over the next 10 minutes of hands-on instruction, Shachi finally managed to learn the basics of chopsticks. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. Happy with her new skill, Shachi eagerly picked up a piece of fish. Jake, this is so good. You're an amazing cook. This bell pepper is actually sweet. If you like it, eat more. Careful of the bones. He found himself lost in gazing at the girl before him. Back when Jessica came over, he'd often cooked delicious meals for her, but she always preferred eating at fancy restaurants. After eating a fair amount of fish, Shachi's eyes fell upon the strange black chicken. She wanted to try it, but was worried about being poisoned. That's Coca-Cola chicken, Jake explained. With a serious expression, Shachi picked up a piece and put it in her mouth. The next second, her eyes widened, and she looked at Jake in amazement. This is incredibly good. It's the most delicious thing I've ever eaten. Not long after finishing lunch, Jake did a quick cleanup and told Shachi, who was sitting on the sofa, you stay here and watch TV. I'm going out to buy some clothes and toiletries for you. Shachi was against this. She sprung from the chair and went to grab her backpack. Immediately returning to her fox form and squeezing into the bag as a result. He walked out of the apartment complex, about to hail a cab, when a sweet voice called out from behind. Oh, Jake, so rare to see you during the day. It was his landlord, Connie Yu. The entire apartment complex belonged to her family. Smiling brightly, Connie approached. Oh, Ms. Yu, what a coincidence. Connie frowned, displeased. I've told you many times, just call me Connie. I'm only a few years older than you. No need to be so formal. Okay, Connie. He quickly corrected himself. Not working today? Connie asked curiously. I was fired. Now I'm unemployed, Jake said. Weren't you the vice president of the generic corporation? How could you be fired? Are they crazy? Let's not talk about that, he replied quickly. Connie, if you trust me, I can introduce you to a better place. What's so great about generic corporation? She offered. Have you heard of insert high-tier company? I can get you a project manager position right away, and with your abilities, you'll be CEO in no time. Jake was slightly surprised. Insert high-tier company was a top 500 company. And Connie's last name was Yu too. Could she be related to the company? Even able to get him a manager position with a single word? However, he wasn't interested in any of this. Thank you for your kindness, Connie. I want to rest for a while. He declined. Okay, let me know when you've thought it over, Connie said. Turning to ask, where are you going? Shopping at the mall, he said. What a coincidence. I was just about to head to the mall myself. Let's go together. You can ride with me. She offered. No need to bother you, Connie. I'll take a cab. Why are you so shy? Are you looking down on me or something? She asked a little aggressively. How could I? You're a goddess to so many people in this building. He replied as best as possible. Before Jake could say anything, Xiaoqi, inside the backpack, couldn't help but poke her head out, glaring at the woman with a ferocious expression. As if she couldn't wait to tear her apart. Oh. You got all of this already taken. Well, Jake, this is an animal, right? What kind? She asked, trying to get to know him. Not everything has to be your business, growled Xiaoqi, just die already. Before Jake could even respond, Connie picked her up. This is a fox, not a dog, Jake awkwardly tried to explain, as to not reveal she could talk and change forms. How could you? Xiaoqi had to contain herself from exploding from anger, and instead faked a cute smile for the cameras. How nice, taking care of an animal, it really makes me like you more, Jake. You aren't going to get a reaction out of this so-called peasant. Well, cock you, I have to get going, as my sink is messed up, he stated. Just ignore her please, she exclaimed before staring down at his fox. As Jake and Xiaoqi left, Connie just remained at the location with a wide smile, as to make everyone go mad, to fight over her. Soon enough Jake came into the mall, and began to go towards the secret shop, which he stood in front of for a long time. It was as if time stood still at the location. Don't tell me you just want to stand here? We already took so long to go over here. I thought a man like you wouldn't be ashamed. Jake then quickly shot into the secret shop. With the clothes Jake found, he was quickly taken to the cashier. As this was a popular thing, there was not a lot of time to think about anything else. Here you go, it's been bought. With all the items bought, Jake walked back home, and released her, and plopped down on the couch from all the stress. Jake suddenly lifted the pillow. Hey! Get off of my head! He screamed as he stared at the woman. Let me see the clothes you got. She lifted her head up and exclaimed. Jake then tossed the bag over as she began to look over all of the clothes. You seriously bought this kind of stuff for me, Jake? The woman exclaimed. Do you think I'm a child here? If you have a problem, then tell me and I'll refund it, replied Jake. Whatever, just give me a sec to change and let's get it over with. Xiaoqi rolled her eyes as she walked into a room to change. Alright, I'm done, Xiaoqi exclaimed. How do I look? She exclaimed, trying to do the pose the model was doing. Before Jake could even react, her expression quickly changed as she was pushed onto the floor. Why did you suddenly push me? She screeched from the top of her lungs. You aren't used to it clearly, he stated before quickly pushing himself out of the room. Just figure out what's right for you already. After a day's worth of cleaning and moving, Xiaoqi was finally done. You seem to hate me, Jake replied. The two were sitting on the couch together. Of course, you're always so loud it makes me want to puke, she replied casually. And here I was trying to be nice for once. What an idiot, Jake mocked. You did what now? Xiaoqi turned and glared at Jake. Do you think it's your job to act all nice for me? What is it now, I have to pay you back or something? At this point it's whatever you want. He rolled his eyes before going back to watching TV, with a certain VTuber playing on the side. Jake, can you teach me how to play this as well? Just a naive, silly fox girl, nothing more. He said to himself, if I did anything with her then I fear I would not last, with a bunch of baby foxes being born by the time her father and sisters came knocking. I beg everyone to like and subscribe to my channel, please help the cat. I work so hard and all you do is freeload. Without hesitation, Su Xiaoqi pouted her lips and blinked her beautiful eyes, her skill and flattering having reached its peak. In an instant, he surrendered. Alright, I'll teach you when I have time. He turned his face away, his heart pounding wildly. You are the best, then she winked. I better be, replied Jake, with a cold glare. Will it be now? I need you to stay quiet if you want this plan to work, said Jake. Wait, will it shine? Tonight is better so that we can get some luck around the town, she said happily and giggled before giving a compliment. How can you be nice? It's like I've known you since I was little, Jake stated. With a smile and a light head sway she got closer. Now you get the reason I'm important," she shouted. It seemed like to find the object there needed to be some extra motivation. What will the elixirs be, or is it even real in the first place? Oh, will it shine in the sky? Oh wait, since you're down here that means that you saw the light. How will I ever repay you now? Jake paused after hearing such bold words. Just find the rock and leave already, Jake stated. Oh, what stone? Just because if anything goes wrong you get the full force of me. With this type of plan I'd better be able to do the best. Wait for it, how about those rocks? Wait, will one of them be perfect? I will never ask for any help from people like that again, what a crazy person. Suddenly Xiaoqi grabbed his hands. Just like the book it said, is it because you don't want to take me to the party you haven't told me anything? Oh man, she's getting desperate, just tell me anything already, why can't I say anything? I think you should get in the role and keep quiet, that's the best action to take, said Jake, trying to come up with anything. With that said, she looked at Jake for the longest time. It was a dead straight stare, as if she was a laser pointer. It was said that the beauty got prettier, as a fox could always catch the scent. If it's a beautiful fox, then nothing can be said just to appreciate. Why don't you say anything to me? It feels like you don't care what I say at all. Is it because you are tired after all of that trouble yesterday? Well, I have it if I am or aren't, so no. I don't feel any of it. As the two bickered, the fox suddenly stopped walking. Are you sure it's all right to be barefoot? What about all of those rocks? Jake said. That's right, human bones are so weak, if anything I get the powers, Xiaoqi said with a giggle. With a blank stare, Jake took both of her hands, and began to put the socks and shoes on with a gentle motion. This gave the fox's heart to flutter. It's like everything from a romance novel was coming to fruition. Let's just say people have died for less if your powers get to me, laughed Jake. You said that you would wear these shoes without my permission, the fox said with a smirk. How can I say human bones can even get so bad with such a soft rock? If the elixir was with me, I could have killed all of these with my powers. With the clothes all put on, Jake lead her out. She made it clear to be the one to set the example. At a random moment while walking there was suddenly an attack. What is this human world? It's like there is always an attack for the worse. Is there any reason for the stone to be here, or is there any reason at all to fight? She exclaimed. And as the two bickered along, Jake made some jokes to her. Jake had some jokes. Maybe I do need to do something about this look over the top that no one is ever here, Jake said. I don't think you're supposed to be so loud about that stuff, but as long as you help, it will all be well. And finally, after a certain time, don't you need some time to look over yourself? Before any questions could be said, Jake was already grabbed onto. Oh, are you gonna carry me again? You are such a good boy. It said something really cute just now. What's up with the cute show? What will it all lead to? She smiled. I am not carrying you. Why would I carry you? Just don't talk so crazy to everyone. You were also staring. I could see it from a mile away, the fox complained. Why can't I be like you? You can say whatever it is and then say it as a joke. Why can't it be that way? Oh, okay, let's just do what you want. There is no point in arguing with a guy. What's the fun in that? If things get bad, then can you teach me to be smooth and say what's on your mind? I never taught you to act like an airhead. Why are so airheads so popular? If you want to play games, then play. Let's be each other. As the walk had just about reached its end, the beauty of the river caught both of their eyes. Before anything could be said, Jake had a strange glare. As the beauty saw all of this coming, his eyes were filled with a strange glare. I'm cold, are you going to help me? With the comment, the fox's eyes were glistening. I thought all goblins were to be feared, but with such a gentle spirit, who would be scared of you? Jake giggled to himself. Why would I be honest? It's more fun this way. I never knew that a human like you would be so easy. Why did you save me if I'm such a burr? Den, she was about to tear up. Can you be honest? Why did you do it? She tried to hold his hand, but Jake quickly dodged. After that, all they had reached the location, the place the elixir was lost. Is this all that you want? Are you going to lie? She looked up for some sort of hint. A little side joke, the sun wasn't there, it was replaced by the goblin. Is it this or not? Is that something for me to know? Do you want to wait a month? She grabbed a flower at the location before holding both of his hands with a bright grin. And as the time went on, she grabbed another set of snacks. It's not a good idea to be drinking some of this. What if something goes wrong? It might affect all of your inner health right there, Jake stated as an idea. With that and that only, the girl nodded as the elixir came to focus. Can you do what is necessary to hold on to that? She started. You are really going to do the work? Jake nodded to her and the girl went back to the snacks to make a comment. Are you jealous that I have snacks? Jake's ears quickly caught her out. I never said that word. Why do you talk out of context? I am not going to listen to anything until you get your head around. What if it's not fun? What will happen? You think I'm getting mad, huh? Why, that's hilarious. I can't take your word if I have to be treated this way. Oh, that's right, let me see. Ah, there it is. The fox started. With a nod and a smile, the two looked forward, for their lives were about to be changed. She had the inner energy, ready and done, there was never any doubt. And they lived all happily ever after, and Jake fell more in love. Only a silly, naive fox girl. He chuckled. If I actually tried anything, I bet they'd all come running here for me. Those fox sisters are scary. Realizing that was probably not a thought to have, he tried to make it better. Shachi, without any hesitation, pouted her lips and blinked her beautiful eyes. Her skill in acting was at its peak to sell the point. In an instant, he surrendered. All right, I'll teach you when I have time. He turned his face away, his heart pounding wildly. You really are the best, she beamed. It was strange to him, she is the one who caused all of the trouble. Before he could say anything, they were called again. Can it wait? What are you thinking? That it may have been so cool. If it's for the cause, it has to get done and there is no other way. For the love of anything, can you just sleep and don't bother all of the neighbors or myself? Why, you would be so hard to work with. Around the clock, like it was the only goal for anyone. It was close to midnight, and seeing that she was fast asleep, he could relax as he did a gentle touch with his fingers on her nose. There was nothing wrong with the feeling and being ready. As soon as he did that, he picked her up to get back in bed. That being said, it made life so much better with everything set to the time. I just am able to work with you and not let things go bad. You did amazing with being so kind. As Jake carefully walked back into the room, it was as if he was seeing her in the best way. All the lights and the sounds set and ready, there was never a doubt for their future. I think all the world needs this at this point. What a time, he exclaimed quietly. With all that was done, he looked at his phone. It was time to relax. As he was getting ready, something had struck him. Wait, there is a reason as to why these happened, right? Can it be that she actually caused all of this for such a short time? Let the rest of the day come with many fun things. We don't have it so bad, the beauty exclaimed. Is there something on your mind? It's all to be fun and to know what you need to do. She gave a nod. In the moment you said it's fun, so why should I care more? Oh, let's keep talking and know that this moment is so good. Even in your sleep you still said such good words. I don't think there can be a thing that I love more than to spend this time. How to do such better? I just keep thinking of all the words asleep. Jake was a lot better. With such a day passed, it was on to the next. Before 6 had even started, he had awoken with a plan. He took all of his gym wear, not something he had any memory of, and left the room, careful not to wake her. Not long after that he had made it to the location, he saw the many bodyguards and instantly had a bad memory. As they saw him, they immediately rushed with a message. Even the cheapest guard that makes $3,000 had to try their best to get the best job. It's like they all took after her, they all knew there was an ulterior plan. Not a single one was nice, just a bunch of plans. As he walked into the place, she was already there, with what was assumed to be her boyfriend, who did have all the answers. For those in the office, they had no idea what they were gonna ask or how this was all gonna go. Why say so much as I would like to be honest? Just give that so-called boyfriend the job or the money, then leave. He paused. What will it cost? You all are bad, but you're the worst. Just saying all of that. Give me this red string that doesn't matter to anyone. With the red string, a wave had went through her and she could barely stand. If it was ever true that this red string was going to matter, then why were you so quick to get rid of it? Jake's hands tightened at those bold words, to the shock of her. Before anything more could be said, he turned and began to leave. The most silent was that other guy that was watching and making him wonder why he bothered. "Is this the part where you do what it takes?" she said before he had even left. Before any steps were taken, there was a sudden knock. As the door got opened, there was one word said, "There is a lady looking for you." It seems important. As soon as that said, he knew. There is no peace in the world, I have to be aware. As soon as he finished, he saw the lady in front of him. With two hands together, hitting his chest, she said, "How can you lie and not see my thoughts? How could you hurt me, telling me all of those lies?" With that scene, Jake gave her a hug and left, with her still on his back, but in his heart there was doubt. How did she even get to the company that fast? Why can't I just be alone? What a nightmare. With all the commotion, the lady just took the fall and let it all go from there. "The reason I left the note is so that you would find a way." "What did you say?" "The real reason I came to make you feel bad." "What do you think I am?" "Then why didn't you follow the plan?" With this, the guy stopped. After that, all they could hear from the hallway was a series of questions and yelling that never happened for the company before. Before that, let the scene play and show me who she can be. Are you two dating, and why are you here to cause commotion? Don't say such crazy words to me. Just because of some words it will never ever be the same. For a long time you have been a person I've only just met. Who would have thought there would be such problems? I know what's going on. Why are you making such a hard time? What would it be?" As they made it out, Jake had a certain feeling. "You made all this way, so can I try that one way? As you said, all these problems. How could I ever feel this way, as I have already lived a full life? Oh, so just let this one be, so that way I don't get upset right away. Did you not get it the first way, or what's the deal? You've been around to make things better. What even is that? What does any of it mean? To get ready to get some more stuff going on. It's nothing more than to just hurt me. Why would you get the wrong side? How can you just stand up and tell someone that to start a bad problem? I should go on with the show before things get out of hand, but you just don't get to control things this well." Jake said. "Don't say such things, as if I wouldn't try everything that will end up killing me for whatever you thought was okay." The woman felt so many problems as she had finally seen it all. It was like everything had played out in her head. "Is that what you see on social media all the time? To make it clear, why would you think I would be on a social medium? Then how would I be cool or get with everything that will come to me? What are your deals? It seems like you're always on the move, but where do you go is always a mystery. Why this choice to cause problems? With such a weird thought process, why would you decide to go on and create that type of trouble? Just because I feel good and say things doesn't mean that they should be all good. How do I have you, and what will happen for your troubles? What was all there in the plan? If it is never to be, then you should know that you said so much without even thinking. I know what I should feel that should get in this life, but I can't tell you." As they reached his place with this, it was time to get to work and focus on what's next. "You must be able to find something that you are good at." "What could I do?" "What would be to be said? Did you never try to think a little before doing so many problems like this?" I say. Carefully, he approached, turned away, lifted Shachi, and placed her on the sofa. "Watch TV, and don't talk too loud, got it?" Yes, Shachi obediently nodded and eagerly turned on the documentary that was waiting. In just a few short hours, she'd learned so much, but it seemed the content was too difficult to enjoy. As Jake's actions were for nothing and with nothing to do about it. He would never make such a thing to make her look dumb, he sighed. Why, how could I ever help you to get better? Can't you learn on your own, or is that impossible?" His bad thoughts just seemed to get worse as he walked back to the washroom to take a cold shower to cool off. It was that the shirt was wet and it looked like it was ready to take him down. There was a cold shower. This may not even be enough. How can I fix this? As soon as he was done, what was said could never be reversed. What was all of it for? Where did it get all of them? What was the big picture, Jake? Oh, there she is. What, a fox or something? What was all the noise for? How did I say those words? What's wrong? Why did this have to happen to me? Did you not get all of that? What? Why, oh why? Exclaimed Jake. It all hurts all the same. Do not feel more. What's with his face? She's all cute, and his face, she doesn't understand why. At that statement Jake paused for the moment of silence before starting to talk about what she was trying to tell him. All it takes is a couple, and with such gentle words you just can't say that. I have to say knowledge, 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 and the words of God. Can we just take a moment? Why is the guy touching the ground? Just let it go. What could it do? It's nothing great. Can't you keep it down? She has so much to say. What are there? Jake then said. At the moment something brushed his feet. All of this is just a nightmare. I should move out soon. It's now my time to get on top. Oh, can you see this? Why should I feel embarrassed is what she would say from the back. Help me put this back, she said. It was as if her eyes said all was not all to go and to waste. There she finally said what all had been going on, that I will never want this to go. After that a pause. It was like it would never be the same at that moment. Jake just then took all back to the side and didn't say a thing. This whole act, how many times, how much does it all get to be all in good hand to just keep on? You have the same taste, right? If it's just there and there with us. I said I want it. Why do I hear words about not liking it? How is that supposed to be? All of the bad things and all the bad omens that will be said. I never said what you meant. It feels so high and it doesn't stop me. What's supposed to be right about all you did? Oh, are those it? Oh my, oh the lies. Oh, are those? You don't say. You cannot be so serious. Why is it so easy with you? The same as always. I said oh my for a reason, Jake said, trying to calm down and get it over with. Are you serious or are you not, or does this have never had any reason? I get this, so why do you have to put me on the spot? For all this time this is why you never said anything at all to make things get worse. Oh, I'm in trouble. How did it get this bad? All because she was here the whole time? What has she said? The hell, what is his plans, or can I just stop here already? I hate all of this so far. Oh God, Jake thought. Well, let's just keep it easy before it turns to something bad. What even is all of this? All I feel is for it to be for worse. He could do nothing to stop or slow it all from getting on, so why even try? Oh, and let's have me think it's okay that I have to act as if my life is on the side all the time. I just needed to say those words, then this never had to happen. Can you just let up? Jake stated as the air ran out. What? Oh, I have to sleep in the house this time. Oh no, never. I just couldn't. It was over and what was happening was said and ready. Now the choice was for her. But how could she just make him say all this? What has she done, or what will it be to her? To this Jake was able to relax as she went on, but he knew better, as if he touched her she would explode. How much better can it actually get with all of those times? Why am I even this time? What could she have to do for all of her life for there to be problems? Why is my time running out? Jake just thought with how short it all was running out. That was when what was said became a goal. It was as if she finally gave to him. Can it happen so fast? What must I do? It's as if with these problems I've reached her. Just stop, I need it, just to clear my mind. Oh why? Why? The things all had said and were said, all of it. She giggled. I made it up. That's what was happening. All it took was an order. And with everything on the way and all of her, well, let's hope some words fix all these. What else is it that I could do to find some sort of relief? But for me, this sounds more and more to be made up. Then it has been the moment of truth of what might go wrong or what might get better.